Web of Spider-Man is a live-action fan-made series created by independent filmmakers, focusing on a darker, more grounded take on Peter Parker's origin and early days as Spider-Man. Produced on a shoestring budget through crowdfunding and passion projects, it debuted in 2017 with Season 1 consisting of a single pilot episode titled The Man on Top. As of September 2025, the series has gained a cult following among Spider-Man enthusiasts for its gritty storytelling and impressive production values relative to fan films. Season 2 wrapped principal photography in mid-2024 and is in post-production, but this breakdown focuses solely on Season 1. Note that while it draws from classic Spider-Man lore, it diverges significantly into a grim-dark narrative, emphasizing vengeance over heroism, which has polarized fans. The series is available for free on YouTube, via the official channel link and the creators' Indiegogo campaigns, and has been praised for its practical effects, stunts, and cinematography, though some criticize its tone for straying from Spider-Man's core-friendly neighborhood ethos. IMDb lists it under the Web of Spider-Man, 2017 with a small cast led by Brandon Mello as Peter Parker, Spider-Man. The pilot runs about 20-25 minutes and sets up a serialized story arc involving gang violence in New York and Peter's descent into vigilantism. Episode breakdown. Season 1, Episode 1, The Man on Top. Synopsis. The episode opens with a young Peter Parker, played by Brandon Mello, attending the funeral of his Uncle Ben, who was murdered by a rising street gang taking control of New York City's underworld. Devastated and fueled by grief, Peter discovers he has superhuman abilities after a bite from a genetically altered spider, a nod to the classic origin, but with a more lab accident vibe tied to Oscorp-like experiments. Rather than embracing responsibility, Peter channels his rage into becoming a masked vigilante, hunting down the gang members responsible for Ben's death. His leads point to a shadowy man at the top orchestrating the violence, hinted to be an early version of a major villain like Kingpin or Norman Osborn. The story builds to a brutal rooftop confrontation where Peter first dons his makeshift Spider-Man suit, showcasing web-slinging via practical wires and CGI enhancements. The episode ends on a cliffhanger with Peter unmasking a low-level thug who whispers clues about the bigger threat, leaving Peter bloodied but more determined. Key plot points. The inciting incident, Uncle Ben's murder, is depicted in a raw, emotional flashback sequence. Unlike mainstream adaptations, the gang is portrayed as a modern, organized crime syndicate using tech and drugs, adding a contemporary edge. Peter's transformation happens quickly within days of the funeral, emphasizing his impulsive, vengeful side over the typical "with great power comes great responsibility" moral arc. Character development. Peter is shown as a grieving high schooler living with Aunt May, played by an uncredited actress in a brief role, struggling with isolation and anger. There's no romantic subplot with MJ or Gwen yet. Instead, focus is on his internal conflict and budding obsession with justice. The suit is a homemade black and red prototype, evoking the symbiote era but without the alien element. Action sequences. The highlight is a chase through New York's alleys and subways, blending Parker stunts with web shooting effects. Critics note the green screen composites are hit or miss, but the hand-to-hand fights feel authentic and brutal, differentiating it from polished MCU entries. Themes and tone. This is a deconstruction of Spider-Man's early decoy bitterness, amplified to make Peter unlikable at times as his snarky quips are replaced by grim monologues. It explores themes of urban decay, loss, and the cycle of violence, but some viewers feel it sacrifices Spidey's humor and optimism. Cast and crew highlights. Brandon Mello as Peter Parker/Spider-Man, a standout performance for a fan project. Mello's portrayal captures raw emotion, though his physicality in stunts has been called impressive for an amateur. Supporting roles. Dustin Toiber as a gang enforcer, Ashlyn Creel as a brief ally, possibly an early Flash Thompson stand-in, and Chris Altina in a mysterious informant role. The Man at the Top is teased but not revealed. Crew. Directed and written by an independent team. Specific credits are sparse on IMDb, but Indiegogo pages credit a collective of NYC-based filmmakers. Production involved crowdfunding via Indiegogo, raising funds for costumes and VFX. Reception and analysis. Positive aspects. Production quality. For a fan film, it's remarkably professional. Reviewers on IMDb and YouTube praise the editing, sound design, and stunt work, calling it the best in the genre with visuals rivaling low-budget indies. The New York City filming adds authenticity, using real locations for immersion. Storytelling innovation. It avoids rehashing the overdone origin beats, instead diving into post-tragedy psychological turmoil. Fans appreciate how it deters from the generic Spider-Man genres while rooting in canon elements like the Uncle's murder and Spider-Bite. Phase 7. One reviewer noted it grabs your attention within the first few minutes and leaves you wanting more. To FCC 13. Emotional depth. The writing is lauded as beautiful, with strong acting from the leads making Peter's grief palpable. It's a fresh lens on Spider-Man's formative days, blending noir elements with superhero action. Criticisms. Tone issues. The grim-dark approach makes Peter outright unlikable, flanderizing his early bitterness into something too serious and joyless. Critics argue it loses the most important aspects of the character, like wit and relatability, turning Spider-Man into a generic anti-hero. 05 Aft 7. Some green screen moments feel cheap, pulling viewers out of the immersion. Pacing and length. As a single-episode season, it feels like a proof of concept rather than a full arc. Subplots, for example, gang dynamics, are underdeveloped, and the cliffhanger teases more without delivering. Fan divide. On platforms like Reddit and IMDb, scores range from 8/10 for production to 4/10 for character fidelity. It's entertaining for dark Spider-Man fans but alienates those expecting levity. The service provides an opportunity to voice any of your texts, including articles, reports, separate chapters or entire book in a sequence, no more than 30,000 characters at a time. The name of the MP3 file is formed from the first 20 characters of the text. Save the generated MP3 file to your device for storing and future use offline. Please select language and voice. Adjustable speed, pitch and pauses between sentences and paragraphs. Replace this text with yours.